A second building division inspector is on leave in the city of St. Louis.
We're about to show you video of that inspector on a daycare ring camera asking for charitable donations while on an official city visit. Our political editor Mark Maxwell is here tonight with new details behind what led up to this investigation.
When a building inspector knocks on your door, property owners in St. Louis know it carries a lot of weight. They wear a badge, they can condemn your building, hit you with costly fines or violations, and potentially even shut down your business. Now, it's important to note this particular building inspector has not been charged with a crime, so we're making the choice to conceal his identity for now. But when Mayor Jones heard the news that he was showing up under the guise of performing inspections and asking daycare owners for contributions to a nonprofit charity, that's when she wrote a letter to the FBI and the Missouri State Auditor asking them to come in and investigate her own building division. When a St. Louis building division inspector walked up to this daycare in April of 2022.
I've always done what they've asked me to do so that I would not have problems.
He didn't know the director had set up a second camera inside her office.
When I answered the door, he said that he was out for an inspection. I'm like, I never got an email. So he was like, yeah, we're coming out to do inspections. And he had a folder in his hand.
LaDonna Smith runs the Little Precious Angels Child Care Center.
He looked around and he asked me, could he go to my office? I said, sure. So we went up to my office. He handed me the folder. It had one piece of paper.
That's when Smith's camera captures this interaction.
Can you write a check?
The inspector asks Smith to donate to a fundraiser for charity. She asks how much.
If I can, I'd love to do 10,000. But I get a lot of daycares that give. Oh my God. I had a lady write me a check yesterday for over 500. So if you can write me a few.
Okay.
Like one lady wrote me a $2,000 check.
I'm trying to expand my daycare. I don't have the money for this. He said, can you do 1,000? I said, I only have 500. He said, okay, let's do 500 then. I said, I don't give cash. I will write a check because I need to have proof of where my money goes. And I'm going to write it from my business account. He said, that's fine.
Sunshine requests of the inspector's government emails reveal he successfully solicited donations from at least 12 other daycare facilities that year and a receipt thanking Smith for her donation to the nonprofit. What are you feeling at this moment?
I just want to get this man out of my office. I don't want any problems. I knew what he did to my cousin.
He had already shut your cousin's business down?
Yes.
Dennis Douglas, who used to run a daycare here, said the same inspector approached him and made a similar request seeking charitable donations.
He had an ID or a badge on that said, the building division and had his name on it.
While he was asking you for money?
Correct, while he was asking me for money. At the end of the day, he's a city official asking me, a new child care provider, for money.
Did you end up giving him money?
No, I didn't give him any money.
And what happened after that?
And so after that, I received he would start popping up to my daycare like random. I know I had received a list of violations that needed to be cured and correct. I feel like he purposely impeded the success of my business.
A third business owner, Sasha Maracala, owns another building with a daycare facility inside and recounted her interactions with the same inspector.
A lot of people here are scared of retaliation. A lot of people are afraid to come out because what they do is they use their business, and if you don't either give them money for their donation, they'll shut you down. They'll find anything and anything to close your daycare down or condemn your building.
What happened when Smith wrote that check?
Not only did he take it, he never did an inspection, but he sent us an inspection report.
Saying?
We passed inspection.
Go to sleep, pretty babe.
I think he should be gone because he's made it so hard for child care providers. We shouldn't have to go through this.
At City Hall, Mayor Tashara Jones is taking the unusual step of asking the state and federal governments to step in. She wants an investigation after a series of reports detailed allegations of corruption and conflicts of interest, putting building owners out of business or leaving them with costly bills they can't afford.
One of the employees has since resigned and the other has been put on forced leave.
Property owners in the city tell us that they're afraid or intimidated of your building division. You said just last week that the city's success hinges on the future of our population growth. How do you convince people to buy here, to move here, and most importantly, to stay here if they're worried the city might treat them this way?
Well, the suspension of the Stable Communities STL program and this issue that we've discovered in the building division are two separate issues. We discovered that some building inspectors have had less than favorable interactions with some of our not employees, but people in the community that they're responsible for doing inspections on. And once we discovered those, with their behavior, they were dealt with immediately.
The city inspector has been placed on paid leave pending the results of this investigation. Email records we obtained showed he spent a lot of government time and resources raising nonprofit donations for the Special Education Foundation and its charity golf tournament. That nonprofit's director confirmed the inspector's involvement, but said those funds, roughly $12,000, were merely a fraction of their overall fundraising. In St. Louis, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.